Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare and welcome back to the Dark Mod. Now we're continuing on with the campaign in the 4th, so let's continue on with the Thomas Porter series with the Glenham Tower. Now as always, if you want to skip my narration, feel free to jump ahead to 3 minutes exactly. After I busted Lark Butternose out of the Old Town jail, I hid and waited for Lark to regain consciousness. When he learned how he got out, he was quite happy to offer me a significant portion of his share to our loot. After that, our business was concluded, and we went our separate ways. I heard Captain Godfrey Knighton was not at all pleased with the events at the jail, and was still looking for the people who robbed him blind. I decided to disappear and move north to a town called Braden until things calmed down in the city. After looking for work via the usual channels, I was approached by a bookstore owner named Victor de Grenefeld. He offered me a simple and entirely legal task of retrieving a rare old book from a derelict tower. The Glenham Tower was originally built by a wealthy family to provide a safe and secluded place to reside in the misty Glenham Moor. The family was disgraced by some kind of scandal, and the tower was later bought by a hermit scholar named Lord Morley, who moved in with a single servant. Lord Morley, I learned, was doing some kind of research for the builders. Some years ago, the inhabitants of the tower simply stopped visiting Braden anymore to buy supplies and food. The tower was found abandoned and sealed. The original residents, in fear of robbers, had installed an indestructible portcullis, which was now closed, and there was no way to enter the tower. Many have tried to force their way inside, but the portcullis is impenetrable. The windows are also made of this material. De Grenefeld told me that an skillful acrobat like me could easily climb the exterior of the tower to the top and gain entrance that way. He would pay a nice sum for a rare old book called De Vermis Mysteriis, which he knows is somewhere inside the tower. I could keep all the other goods I find. The most dangerous thing would be the tower itself. De Grenefeld told me that the tower is old and structurally unsafe, but I shouldn't worry if I'm careful enough to watch my step. The task sounded simple enough, and the pay is extremely good, so I agreed to De Grenefeld's offer. I need to buy some rope arrows and travel to the Glenham Moor. It is nice to do something legal for a change. Let's see what we've got for objectives. Once again, it looks like it's just the loot count. But of course, higher difficulty also reduces the amount of gold you've got, but looks like we've got a fairly healthy amount of items this time. 4 water arrows, a health potion, broadheads, ropes, noisemakers, and all the regular stuff. Now, of course, nothing in the description explained this, but it's pretty obvious we're going to an abandoned tower, so there's going to be undead. So I'm loading up with that in mind. Lots of water, lots of holy water, fire, and whatever else I can buy. Alright. Looks like it's actually pretty foggy. I can hardly see the top of the tower from here. The way out is clear, but there's an invisible wall in front of the gate. Which is fine, you know. We're not here to explore the moor. We're here to climb up a tower. Like the briefing said, this place is kind of crumbling apart. You can get a pretty good sense of that just from looking up. It might be more difficult than it looks to reach the top of the tower. But then again, looks like there might be a way to skip that process entirely. Let's find out. And in fact, it looks like this barrel does not quite fit into the location where it is. And I know from previous Sotha maps that this creator loves hiding stuff behind stacks of crates. So of course it's purely instinct to check behind them now. Ah, yep, sure enough, there's something back here. Ah, a switch. That did not make a positive sound. I guess it must be broken or something. Well, climbing to the roof it is. Let's at least get the first bit out of the way and climb up onto this section. See how high we can get without using rope arrow. Whoa. Okay. Important note. Not everything you can stand on will support your weight. Gotta be careful with these arrows to make sure that I can get enough clearance for the rope to go all the way down. And then there's, yeah, a little issue of managing to climb on top of this rooftop here without falling. Let's have a look around the sides here. Looked like there was a wooden board I could use. That might work. And that looks like an accident waiting to happen. So let's not choose that side. Instead we'll go for that little plank hanging off the side there. There we are. It's actually pretty interesting. We seem to have climbed above the fog. Nice touch. And here's that accident waiting to happen. Let's see what happens when we touch it. Pretty much exactly what you'd expect. I have to say, it's a nice set piece for, you know, considering the means and ways available for the Dark mod. Astronomy. Someone's been watching the black planet and the moon. Apparently something good will happen when they are in alignment. And I'm not sure I trust that staircase. Looks like the bottom half is already broken. Might want to just jump down. Avoid the trouble. Well, shit. That little roof area just collapsed. Looks like there's no going back that way. Let's see what we've got in here. Oh. Double shit. Zombies are apparently here to investigate the noise I made. And I've only got one fire arrow. Toe-to-toe, zombies will actually take a great deal of punishment. You may recall from back when I killed one using a sword a few updates ago. There's only the one guy in here, but I'd rather not take any damage at all. And since blackjacking and instant KOs are out of the question, I'm actually going to do what I've been doing in these previous maps with the blackjacking limit, and and just leave them be for the most part. Although actually, looks like someone managed to get an arrow to this guy. Good thing he doesn't notice when I remove it. Oh dear. Someone met an unfortunate end here. Let's see. Ah, yes, it's one of these journals that make you wonder, why they are writing these things instead of just thinking them. Apparently we are not the first thief employed by Mr. What's-His-Face. I don't remember what his name is. Doesn't matter. Anyway, that guy fell on the staircase, the part that's already collapsed. Broke his leg. Called out for help, and the zombies answered. Much to his dismay. Looks like they tore him to shreds, too. Based on these bloodstains, they did not finish matters upstairs for some reason. Luckily this floor is empty. Looks like those bloodstains lead to the second cabinet, though. This painting. Someone took the time to scribble over the eyes, presumably with blood. And in case you're wondering why I'm sitting here waiting, it's because that second zombie we saw, he tends to patrol all the way from the top of the tower and then down to the bottom. He, more than anyone else, is a pain to deal with. And so, yeah, I opened that door because I knew I'd be able to hear him. Sure enough. Anyway, like I was saying, he is the biggest pain to deal with. And so I will be dealing with him permanently. I think there's a ring on that end table. Looks like I forgot to pick it up. Yeah, completely missed it. Oh, lovely. Storing the body parts for later. This is actually a nice place to hide, though. But the zombies seem too mindless to do these things. To store body parts in a cabinet. To cover the eyes of all the portraits in the tower. And just so you know, they do in fact cover all the eyes in all the portraits on this tower. It's not just that one. But in any case, it does make you think. What else is going on here? It can't just be a zombie infestation. Doesn't sound like there's anyone down here. But there is. And in fact, he's a real bastard to hide from. Because Sotha just loves doing this. Making sure that you don't feel safe even when you're hiding behind a door next to the usual patrol route. He'll just, like, every third or fourth time the guard or the revenant goes on patrol, they'll just, walk over to the door. Good shot. They'll walk over to the door and not even do anything, just walk around in a circle in case you are hiding there. Also, for reference, I believe I miss one of the cups that has fallen onto the floor in this room as well. And so long as that guy is staring out the window, I think it'll be safe to clear off the dining room table here. Oh. Good timing on my part. Luckily, this half of the table is in complete darkness. But you may notice there are a couple good wine bottles there on the racks. And I should very like to get my hands on them. Uh-oh. Yeah, sometimes he stops at that window, sometimes he moves right on along. You really gotta watch your step. If I wasn't always forced by circumstances to leave these guys alive and standing... Uh-oh. I would very much admire the guard patterns that Sotha uses, because they are very intelligent and very well designed to screw over the player who thinks he's smarter than them. Music changed. Must be a different part of the map. In fact, we are in the square portion of Glenham Tower now. Must be around halfway down now. Around the bottom half of the map is not that easy. As you can imagine, there are more zombies down here with more overlapping patterns. So, luckily, this level is also very generous with the water arrows. I only get the one holy water. Well, that's because I picked expert. You would have access to more and more money to buy them on lower difficulties. And between that and all the water arrows you can hold, it is fairly easy to go on a zombie slaying massacre. I mean, they are not nearly as resistant to holy water as the revenants are. One item in there, kind of a letdown. Then I suppose all the nice cutlery was upstairs in the dining room. I hear another revenant around the corner. Assuming it doesn't come this way, though, I should have time to put out these candles. So this is what I was saying before. There are a lot of zombies. Some of them are carrying things. Let's have a read. This is Lord Morley's servant's journal. Apparently he thought it would be a nice gig since, he would only have to talk to one person and he's not very much into people. But apparently Lord Morley's hermetism was too much even for him. Especially once he started bringing home corpses for experiments. You can see where that led. Looks like we found the bathroom in here. This one's actually pretty clever here. I have no idea how, but a holy icon somehow managed to stick itself onto a spider web. I mean, that thing is solid gold. That must be one hell of a spider web to hold it. And there's the other zombie. I stole the book, but that's book zombie. And there's dagger zombie. And then we've got third floor zombie up on the third floor. I find it's easier to keep track when you start naming them. I mean, I stole this book, but he's still book zombie in my heart. And then you can hear front door revenant. Luckily he doesn't come this far into the corridor. But out of the 3 doors I have yet to check, it is kind of inconvenient when 2 of them are occupied by zombies. It's kind of interesting how courteous they are about closing all the doors once they use them, though. Dagger zombie's going to take a bath, I guess. But since book zombie just left this place, it should be safe to have a look around. Oh, and by the way, yeah, if you touch a sleeping zombie, it will get up. So you do not want to do that. This is Lord Morley's final words. Apparently he had something called the glass sphere of undeath, and didn't think that that would end poorly. Yeah. So now we have an optional objective. Find the glass sphere of undeath and destroy it. Now you may recall back on the top floor there was that vat of royal acid, which I believe is an actual thing. Like, it's this combination of 2 acids, which is capable of dissolving gold. It's not like the best acid out there. We've found some even more powerful combinations since the medieval era, but it was, for the time, pretty potent. Anyway, so the guy was tricked by the Lich Queen. Again, I do not see how he thought this would end well for him. But on the plus side, he did prepare for something. Because I've got all this bread, potions, a golden lion for some reason, and oh boy. Oh boy. 2 mines, 2 holy waters. Yeah, I will say this. You may not have thought things through properly, but at least he prepared a decent contingency plan. It's just too bad he got infected before he could make use of it. Anyway, you may have noticed, but Book Zombie came in here while I was looking through the extra stuff, which is good. And now that I have a bunch of water arrows, I can douse this corridor, making it far more safe to explore. Privy. Doesn't look like anything's fallen between the cracks, though. Shame. Oh, great. Good timing there, zombie boy. And everybody's interested in that room for some reason. But yeah, to summarize the plot, essentially, Lord Morley wanted to reanimate the dead for some reason, but he was tricked by the Lich Queen into reanimating the dead for her, rather than for himself. And to get rid of her, to get rid of all of these zombies, some of which have come straight out of the moor, you're going to have to destroy the glass orb of undeath. This might be the servants' quarters. Dang it. I hate it when my timing is just a little bit off like that. Nothing else in there except a die and a game piece. Let's hope I can make it downstairs without getting spotted. Like I said, taking out the zombies at this point wouldn't be too hard, but with a revenant in earshot, that's still not the best plan. Luckily, he does enjoy admiring those paintings with the eyes splotched over. Alright, now's my chance. And the other tough thing about this map is that all the floor is wood. And that's pretty much the loudest common floor type. Oh dear. This may take a while.